Hi, I'm Guro from Lameco Astig Combatives, and I'm going to be demonstrating some basic concepts from double stick or sword. So one of the most basic ones is that we like to start in the open position with our sticks or our swords out in front like this. Now, there are a couple different reasons for why we prefer this. The big one is that we see our swords not just as weapons, but also as our shields. So if they're both out like this, no part of our body is significantly exposed, as opposed to closed position, where one side is potentially available to be hit. The other reason is that if we hold out our sticks in this position, it becomes significantly more difficult for our opponents to predict which side our attack is going to be coming from. Whereas if I hold it like this, they have a pretty good guess that it's going to be coming from my right side. Whereas if I hold it like this, it could come from either the right or the left. Both now are of equal probability, and neither requires more effort than the other. So again, I could easily do it like this or like this. But the other major advantage of starting like this is that it gives us the flexibility to add more layers to our Sinawali and actually add buy-ins, setups, and fakes. So for example, instead of just doing a single stick attack every single time like you would with your normal traditional forehand, backhand like this, you can actually add a gunting on the very first count like this. From the front, because of the way that I positioned myself with my body and also my sticks, it's extremely difficult for an observer from the front to tell the difference between the two, especially when I'm doing it more in real time and when I'm moving as if I were fighting like this. So that was the regular one, forehand, backhand, and this one is gunting. From the front, really hard to see, right? Now from the side, you can tell a little bit more what I'm going to be doing. So with the regular forehand, backhand, you can see I'm pulling it. Whereas in the gunting, I'm actually extending both of my arms. So making it more alive, or with gunting. Neither side has a major difference. And that's just with direct attacks. Already it's very difficult to tell exactly what my intention and what it is I'm striking. But what if I want to actually add fake? So for example, I could fake the first hit and make them think that I'm going for the high line in order to create an opening for a low line attack. So the fake would look like this. So looks pretty similar, right, to the actual attack, which looks like this. From the side, again, it's more obvious exactly what I'm doing. I'm pulling down my right arm. So that potentially gives it a more likelihood that I will be actually to land the lower hit. But we can't just stop it there. We can also set up and not actually complete the full Sinawali sequence. We don't have to be chained to 3 counts. So for example, I could start normally with the forehand, backhand, and then instead transition to rapido halfway in between. So they set up thinking that I am going to be actually doing a forehand, backhand and have a strike on the backhand side, but really I'm coming around to the forehand, like this. And so by always having the exact same starting form, you are able to really, really confuse and hide your intentions, and that way significantly increase the likelihood of your attacks landing and hitting your opponent.